Well, hello and welcome to the Let's Talk Fabulous show. And I'm your host this week. I'm Joy Willett, and I am so excited because we are celebrating autumn and everything we love about the fall time. So, what do you think? Let's talk. Well, hello, my wonderful guests today. We're celebrating the first day of fall, aren't we? And for one of our guests here, it's not the first day of fall, it's the opposite, but you have to wait to find out more. So I'd like to go around and ask each of you to say your name and where you're beaming in from for today's show. Kathleen, let's start with you.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Courville, and I'm here from Texas in the Hill Country area.
Fabulous. I'm sure it's absolutely gorgeous there. Gosia, how about you?
Hi, I'm Gosia Lorenz, and I'm here from California, Southern California, Orange County.
Wonderful, wonderful. My neck of the woods right now too, right? Wink, wink. Courtney, how about you? Welcome.
Hi, my name is Courtney Hill, and I live in Flagler Beach, Florida.
Great. And finally, Daniel, where are you coming in from today?
My name is Daniel Gutierrez, and I'm coming in from the Sacred Valley of the Incas in the Andes of Peru. And today is our first day of spring, or actually yesterday was.
That is incredible. That's incredible. So this is a show today for our audience and for all of us here, where we're going to be sharing all the things about autumn and fall, and even Daniel's going to be sharing about Peru and that new celebration down there of spring. But Daniel, you used to be here from the States, so he's also going to share some of his memories. But I'd like to start with somebody here, and I want you to listen in to one of our guests talking about this time of year.
Hi, my name is Courtney Hill, and I love the fall. It's actually one of my favorite seasons. And growing up in Colorado, when fall would start creeping in, the temperatures were dropping, the leaves on the aspen trees were changing, and then they were starting to fall off, and they just littered the whole ground in this beautiful color. So going hiking, spending time outdoors, starting bonfires, just wearing the hats and the jackets and just being outside in that cool, crisp air. I love it. It's an amazing reminder to slow down, and it just reminded me, of comfort, like the winter's coming, and that meant I could have a fire, and Thanksgiving was coming, and then I could be surrounded by friends and family and football, which I don't really watch football, but it's always been a tradition. So being in Florida now, the fall is so different. It's so subtle here, but like the sky, there's something about the sky that you just know it's fall. At night, you think it's cold out and you step out and it's not. There's more rain. The leaves do change here and the waves are bigger. So it's subtle nuances here. Very different than Colorado, but fall is it's really an amazing time. It's just getting prepared for the winter, slowing down, reflecting. So yeah, I love it. I love fall.
Oh, that was so beautiful, Courtney. And I'm going to bring you up here because that was amazing. And even though you're in Florida, I loved, and you used to be in Colorado, I love how you shared that it's wherever we are, it's about slowing down a little bit more. Talk a little more about how that is important to you personally.
Well, it's, summers, I love summer. Anytime I can be outside, I love it. But they're truly, for me, I find myself get very, very busy. And when the fall comes in, it somehow just naturally slows me down to get quieter. And I don't know, just kind of stop in a way. I can still be really productive at work, but there's like a calming to it. And I definitely like the cooler temperatures. So it allows me to feel like I have more energy than I do in the summertime, especially in Florida. And it's just, it brings back a flood of memories. Really great memories. I was thinking the other day, when I grew up in Evergreen, before I moved to Florida, obviously I've been in Florida for 2 years, but in Evergreen, when we were growing up, we lived on 30 acres and we'd chop wood, and my dad would chop the wood and we'd have to stack it. So I have those memories. I have memories of just playing outside with the leaves and bonfires and camping and just being outside as much as possible. So it's just a really reflective time, family time. And it also, my sister actually passed in October, almost 5 years ago. So I always celebrate her every day. I think about her all the time, but that definitely comes into the picture in October, where it's like another memory now of all the amazing times with her, and just appreciating everything and every moment. So I don't know, fall is, it's just a really special time. I don't know how it's a sense and a feeling, and the way the air is and the sound. So for me, it's one of my favorite times of the year with the change.
I love that. I know personally you're outside a lot. And when you were talking about the leaves and chopping wood and, getting ready to help with the fires, and if you had wood stoves or fireplaces in the Northern Hemisphere, we all did things like that. But I could just imagine you have this incredible German Shepherd, right? Gunner, is he a German Shepherd or?
Yes.
And jumping through leaves. I know our dogs used to jump into leaf piles. And so you also lived in Steamboat Springs, didn't you? And that's a pretty spectacular place in Colorado. We're talking, folks, right now. Yeah,
Steamboat Springs, amazing. We lived on 5 acres, and I would get up in the morning and just walk around with Gunner on the property through all of our beautiful pine trees, aspen trees, sit outside. The wind is, blowing. I mean, not crazy. It's like a good breeze, and the leaves are falling. And we actually had a wood burner there as well. So my husband would chop the firewood, and then we'd stack just piles of firewood for the winter. And I love that physical work. I love being outside doing that. It makes me feel alive and healthy. And I know the snow's coming, which, being in Florida, I definitely miss that. So
yeah, but you said you have big waves now, bigger waves, because you get
the waves.
Yeah.
It definitely, again, it's that sense in the air of winter's coming, and the waves are picking up and they're getting a little bit bigger. We're also in hurricane season, so obviously that has something to do with it until November 1st. But the wind's picking up on the beach, even though it's still 80 degrees, there's that cool undertone of a breeze. And that's that subtle difference from the Colorado dry, cool, crisp air. You get the humidity and just a subtle, cool breeze here.
I love how you are so adept at picking up with your senses, Courtney. And certainly there's a certain smell and a change in the air, isn't there, when autumn comes or when spring comes? And we have Daniel in the house too. But thank you. It's so many memories are getting stirred up for me, and I'm sure a lot of you here on our panel, as well as in the audience. There's just so many associations with this time of year. And I'm going to share one of our other guests' videos right now.
Hi, this is Gosia Lorenz, talking to you from the heart of Amsterdam. Fall is for me, a time of slowing down after a really fast-paced summer. It's time to reflect, to take a deep breath, to slow down and prepare for a stillness of the winter. It is time to smell wonderful smells and cooler air and wear very cute outfits. And I love the time. I love the time of changing colors, of people expecting something really exciting. Christmas is coming, and of course Halloween, and all of the kids are very excited. So this beautiful, exciting time, and it is upon us. Let's celebrate.
Well, I love that. And Gosia, let's put you into the spotlight. We're going to switch you around here. And, you know, I love that. Let's celebrate. Talk a little bit more about that. Tell us what that means for you.
Oh, so much. You know, I was born and raised in Poland, so I have very different memories of the fall and fall celebrations from there, and very different ones from living in California for the last 20 something years, and Florida somewhere in there for 5 years. So it seems like people are celebrating. They're getting ready for holiday season, and everybody's is slowing down after a busy summer, and it smells so wonderful, all the pumpkin and spices and Thanksgiving gatherings, family gatherings, and wonderful meals. And it's just time filled with love and with excitement and with anticipation. You can feel this anticipation. There's sometimes a little bit of stress coming closer to the Christmas. That's not fall anymore. But there's this chapter in between. For me, fall is the chapter in between summer and winter. And yeah.
Yes, I love that. And so growing up in Poland, right, where you grew up there, and so what have you noticed, because you've been in the States for quite a few years, what's different or what's the same as for what we do here in the United States versus how you celebrated in your old country, so to speak?
The old country. Yes, it's very, very different. It's completely different. I loved fall as a child. I have a lot of memories as a child. I can still smell and hear the leaves, the fallen leaves. I love just jumping into piles and collect the beautiful ones with the most vivid colors. And I loved making art. All the kids were making art from everything fall. So leaves, we had chestnuts, not the eating kind, the edible kind, the other ones, the brown ones, and acorns, and would make little animals and little people with little moss and create magical scenes and put leaves in different arrangements on different big pieces of paper or any surface that you could put it on, glue it on, stick it on. And for me, what I remember very vividly is All Saints, is November 1st. Here we have Halloween, right? So it's kids are going crazy, dressing up. It's fun, it's funny, it's spooky, lots of sugar, lots of sweet. In Poland, we don't have it now a little bit, but when I was growing up, it was time to visit family, to visit the graves of the loved ones. And it was very kind of big time to remember and reflect and recall different stories, storytelling. I'm very fascinated with everything ghosts and spirits, you know that. And that's my actually specialty. I work with this subject, teach about that as well, the other worlds, the other energies that might not be visible, but they're very palpable and might influence us. So it became my profession, basically, my fascination with All Saints and cemeteries and going, little scared as a child, and all the graves were covered with candles, lit candles. So in the night, people would come, especially children, and walk around because it was so magical, spooky, but really, really magical, with candles, 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 candles everywhere. So this is my big memory. So this is non-existent here. There's Dia de los Muertos in Mexico, but we don't really celebrate it here. So this is what I'm missing very, very much. And Halloween it's completely different, but fun as well. Of course, we have pumpkins here. We don't have it so much in Poland. We used to go, everybody does it still, go in the fall to collect mushrooms. In the mushrooms, dried mushrooms from the forest is a big, big part of our cuisine and flavors and smells. So whole families would go with big buckets or baskets and collect mushrooms, and everybody knew what is edible, what will kill you or might make you very sick. So I love that, and I miss it so much. And I know in some regions of United States you can absolutely forage and look for mushrooms, but not here in California. At least I haven't learned about edible ones here. So there's so many memories and so many differences. It's just completely different. But I do love warm falls. The leaves are changing, but not as much here. And I love cooler days and just reconnecting with friends, because summers are super busy for me. So fall is reconnecting with friends and spending long times, talks, and it's healing. It's nurturing. It's beautiful. It's about what we can harvest, what we planted in the spring. Can we harvest this now, or what can we plant again in the next spring or over the winter? It's just beautiful.
I really love that, Gosia. Everyone is bringing up just different facets, and you talked about. I love your celebrations in Poland and the candles that you and celebrating that All Saints Day, and that's a different twist for many of us here in North America. And beautiful mushroom hunting, and we certainly do have. It's the time here in the northern hemisphere of the harvest, and yeah, like you said, it's really a time where we. I mean, even this is just one day, but it's a time where we just take stock, don't we, of things. So let's hear from another person here in our midst.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Courville, and I'm from the big state of Texas, also known as the Lone Star State. I'm also here in the Hill Country where I live, and here's my backyard where a lot of nature happens, and there's deer, fox, and some kind of critters that roam around freely. The reason why I love living in Texas in the autumn is not only it's a cooler weather, but there's so many different activities here and things to do, especially during the autumn. We have festivals, it's football season, it's hunting, we have like pumpkin patches, we have the wine country where they have wine tours, and it's, homecoming, and Texas is known for the big mums. So autumn is a time for gathering, whether it's tailgating, family reunions. Texans like to come together to celebrate the season and foster a strong sense of community. So come on down to Texas, y'all.
Well, I love that, Kathleen. That was great. Come on down to Texas, y'all, and I'm going to bring you over here. And one moment. Woo-hoo. Here we go. There we go. Yay. So, yeah, you had a lot of memories here, and it's just from the big state, the big old state of Texas, right? So
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about all of your memories and all of these beautiful things that I can relate to. Tell us a little more.
Sure. So, I mean, going back from growing up, it was always about family gatherings. I have a very large family. I have 4 sisters. So, usually when we do events, there's about 20, 25 of us at all times. And every time, knowing that even when we were all off to school, we knew when autumn was coming because we all came home from college or where we're from to come see the family. The great thing also is that even when I had children, you know, we did all these events not only with family. There's so many different activities. They love the pumpkin patch. There's and football, of course, homecoming. The bigger the mom, the better. I don't get it, but you know that's a big thing here in Texas. We had I don't know if I said the pumpkin patches. There's Oktoberfest, and I know I said I cannot say her name right. Gosia, she was talking about Dia de los Muertos and the Day of the Dead. We also have that. All Saints Day, we also would always go to Mass at that time as well. We have the Renaissance Festival, which everybody gets dressed up. Oktoberfest. This is the time of year also that we have the State Fair of Texas, Big Tex. So, and that's, you know, if you're really a big foodie, they have really strange food like fried Coke, you know, and cheesecake, strawberries. So very strange, fun things. In all the little towns here, they do little festivals. And that's what I love because, you know, I love my husband and I, we always go antiquing. And so we just love going to these little towns here in Texas and visiting all the different areas and learning the different cultures as well. Also, autumn, you know, for me, being older and an adult is a little bit changed for me because October reminds me that's the anniversary of my father's passing, and that was part of me moving closer to my family, which, you know, it's great because then I still get to spend time with my immediate family. Apologize, my voice keeps going off. But we do miss him, but we still are all together.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it seems like it's a time where we slow down enough. And as well as I know Courtney talked about her beautiful sister who left at this time of year and your father. And we think about loved ones too, don't we? It's really a legacy of love that comes, love and life, you know, the harvest and the celebration of life and everything beautiful. So are there any, well, let's go back. I'm going to have us all go back together here because we've got one more spotlight and then we're going to talk about kind of our new ways to celebrate this time of year and the things that we cherish about the old ways that we as adults now carry on. And then some of the new ways that we might be thinking about doing. So let's meet our next wonderful person and let's listen from him.
Hello, my name is Daniel Gutierrez, and I'm looking forward to our conversation tomorrow about our spring equinox. We just entered spring today. Today's our first day of spring, and last night we had a thunderstorm, and it was beautiful. We love Pachamama here. Pachamama is Mother Nature. We have reverence toward her. We believe in her. We believe in what she does for us. And as you can see behind me, those green areas are corn. Our corn is coming in. The rain has been beautiful. I look forward to discussing what that means to me tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, that is amazing, Daniel. And let's bring you up for the spotlight here. Hi, sir. And
hello.
It's you tell our audience here maybe where you are from originally and now,
Sure.
and how you used to celebrate or acknowledge this time of year, and now where you are and what you do now.
Well, it's been great listening to everyone because I grew up in Texas, so I know about the state fair and everything fried. You know, I mean, if they could put a tire in there, they'd fry that too. But the fall was a special time for me growing up in Texas, like you were talking about. I mean, we were hunting. My mother was cooking tamales. You know, we always knew the change of weather was time for us to, you know, put on our sweats and just lounge around the house. So I really appreciate those memories of Texas. And of course, then I moved to California, and there in California, we didn't get to see a lot of the changes in the weather, but we knew it was coming when Starbucks had their salty caramel coffee, which I can't get here, by the way. So I missed that. So there's a lot of things, as you were speaking, that I missed. Dia de los Muertos. Now, it's kind of an odd thing here because we're going into spring, but it's still September, and my head says fall. So I'm going, wait a minute, things are turning green, but I'm thinking pumpkins, you know? So October is Dia de los Muertos, Halloween here. So we still celebrate that here. So it's kind of weird because it's kind of a dual thing that I'm having to learn how to do, because for me, having spent all my life in the United States, for me, it's fall. It's autumn, you know? And so I'm kind of screwed up right now, I guess.
Oh, Daniel, hold that thought. We just have to interrupt our show for something very special, because I'm seeing a lot of purple hearts and you guys are going to know it. Thank you for letting us do that. We have some of our beloved friends who have passed on. And when I see a lot of purple hearts showing up, it means that and we're speaking the Day of the Dead and all of that somebody's feeling them in their heart. So we put on about the purple hearts. So thank you. And continue on this whole duality in your mind and heart, Daniel, of like associating September and fall and October and the Day of the Dead, and yet you're in spring.
It's kind of bittersweet. Like I said, I have my feet in two different countries. You know, I have my feet in the U.S. and I'm here in Peru, in the Sacred Valley of the Incas, living in the mountains, in the Andes Mountains, and I love them both. You know, I really wish I could get the salted caramel coffee, but I tried. They do have a Starbucks here. I tried. But you know, here in Peru, one of the things that I've learned to appreciate is that we have a deep reverence for Mother Nature. We call her Pachamama. Pachamama. You know, right now now when I was in the States, I'll tell you something funny. I wouldn't have put my hands in the dirt to save my life. I wouldn't have messed up my suit. I wouldn't have messed up my clothes. There was no way. I lived in Orange County. So listen, you know what I'm talking about. So I get out here and I'm planting potatoes. I'm planting corn. I've got avocados and lemons and pears and apples, and it's beautiful, you know, and that special connection to Mother Earth is something that I've learned out here. And I think that reverence to fall, that reverence to that switch and change, that the death of one part of our beingness into something that springs into something beautiful, which what we're experiencing here now is something that, you know, like I said, to me, it's a little bittersweet because I kind of like the football season, and I get to watch football here in Spanish. It's not in English, but I still get to watch it. And okay, so it's not that, you know, fall-y here, but it's still beautiful. And so I really appreciate the comments that everybody made, because it really took me back to my childhood and took me back to Texas and to California. And now I'm here celebrating in this beautiful, beautiful country of Peru.
We're so blessed that you're here with us, because there are people possibly tuning in from around the world watching this. And it also gives, you know, those of us who live here in this Northern Hemisphere, a reminder it's not the same for everyone. You know, we have the flip side of seasons. However, yes, you know, it goes to show how deep those memories, those smells, and you know, the pumpkin spice lattes at Starbucks, and football and family and gatherings, and being able to be with loved ones and to slow down, and all of these things that this season brings to us, at least up here, Daniel, and that you remember. And it's also a time when it seems like we're getting into that sort of that lull before winter comes, especially if you live in an area where winter really comes in, right? Yeah. And so, yeah, I'm going to share something with you now, and then we're going to talk more about memories, rituals, and what we really hope and dream for in the future. So I'm going to put you back here, and let's see, Daniel, there we go. And I've got something for us to listen to and feel in our hearts. So watch this.
In the quiet moments, when the sun begins to rise, we find the strength within us. In the stories of our lives, not in gold or glory, but in hearts we've touched with grace, in the love we shared with others, in each kind and gentle face. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held and the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you sparked in others, in the stories that are told. Through the trials and the triumphs, in the battles that we fight, it's the courage and the kindness that will always shine so bright. In the lessons that we teach and the dreams that we inspire, in the way we lift each other higher and higher. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held and the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you sparked in others, in the stories that are told. In the final song you sung, and the curtains drawing near, it's the moments filled with love that will echo year to year. In the footprints on the path that guide the lost and blind, your legacy will live on in the hearts you've left behind. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held, in the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you've sparked in others, in the stories that are told. So let's live with open hearts and give with all our might, for the legacy we leave is a beacon in the night, in the echoes of our actions, in the whispers of the wind. Our legacy of love is where it all begins. Our legacy of love is where it all begins.
Your legacy will live on in the hearts you've left behind.
That always gets me. Always gets me. Yeah, because really, we're in a new legacy at each season. And so for each season, there's that opportunity for something else. Let's go around and talk about what that is. Courtney, I see you nodding your beautiful head. Why don't you go? You go first. We'll just kind of go around here.
Well, it's been just listening to everyone's memories, whether like from Poland, obviously you have very different traditions, but I lived in Texas as well. And I just can hear myself in almost every single memory where it made me realize I need to find something here in Florida while I'm here to appreciate and enjoy the fall here and kind of explore what that is about. I do have a feeling that maybe next fall I'll go back to Colorado, but I did forget that we are heading to North Carolina in October, and that'll be the first time that I've ever seen East Coast fall leaves. Very different from the Rockies, so I'm really looking forward to that. But so thank you for all the memories and the ideas and reminding me that I need to find my new traditions here in Florida while I'm here and really embrace those things. So I really appreciate that.
I love that. And we look forward to hearing from you, your new traditions. That will be awesome. And also how you love and see and appreciate the North Carolina. Are you going like to Asheville?
We're actually going to Brevard.
Okay.
So I'm really looking forward to it because we're staying a mile from town. We're taking our mountain bike, so we get to bike everywhere. And my goal is to hike Mount Pisgah in the Pisgah National Forest. And I think that'll be like the perfect time of year to do it. So.
Absolutely. It's amazing how when you're in the Northern Hemisphere, and if you're in hot climates like Texas and even Orange County here where we are, and where it's suddenly when it starts to get a little cooler, you feel like, oh, I want to go out explore the magic before winter comes and the leaves disappear or snow falls. So what about you, Kathleen?
So I know I definitely, will have to do new traditions because I'm newly, will be this year a grandmother. So I definitely will have to have new traditions. And it'll be a girl. So that's all I know from having 4 sisters. And out of the 9 grandkids that we have in our family, there's only 1 boy. So yeah, definitely new traditions. So I'm really excited about that.
That is exciting. And you'll get to bring out, I mean, especially for grandchildren, right? What means something to you, right? To share with your grandkids over time. How wonderful is that? Yeah, that's exciting. Gosia, what say you, my beautiful dear friend also?
I actually made a commitment to myself to spend more time in the nature this fall. I love going to the desert and I love camping in the desert, but in the summer it's a little bit too hot. You know how it is, but fall is perfect. Fall is perfect, beautiful. The evening's so cool. So sitting by the fire is just so healing and magical for me. I love walks on the beach. I am not a beach person like being in the sun and baking in the sun all day, but I can walk and walk and walk for hours and hours and hours. And fall is kind of, I don't know, feels so nurturing for me. So I am committing. I really thought about it a lot because summer just went so fast. I don't even know what happened with all the trips that I was taking and kids and the kids are older now, so we don't do pumpkin patches anymore. We probably will not do pumpkin carvings for Halloween anymore. They go out and want to go for a party, so a Halloween party, not trick-or-treating. So it's very different. It's kind of it's now I can go within. I can start looking at things I'd like to change, I'd like to work on. There's always something I like to focus on. There's so much to do in the world. There's so much positivity we can saw. There's so much love. I love this video. It made me cry. This video we just watched. So it felt so inspiring. This is exactly what I want to do. Just be more joy, love, compassion, presence for others. And I think fall will be perfect time for this.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And yes, that video was created by one of our community members here and producers of the show, Steampunk Poe. He's amazing. So you'll find him somewhere here. Friend him on Facebook or Instagram. He's absolutely just a man of heart and beautiful creativity. Thank you. And Daniel, okay, you're kind of doing both sides of the coin here, of going inward and yet also going outward in spring there in Peru. Tell us a little bit about what your thoughts are.
I want to share with you a custom here in Peru. This called a quinto. It can be shared in the fall and the spring. It's just a reverence to Mother Nature. During the time of the Incas, they held close to them the coca leaf. Looks like this.
Oh.
The coca leaf is very important because it is something that sustains the individual when they're working out in the fields and also gives them energy. So this is called a quinto. It's 3 coca leaves. And it could be 3 bay leaves if you're in the States, because you shouldn't have coca leaves. But so we have 3 coca leaves. And what you do is that you hold it with your hands like this, and you pray into them your apus. Your apus are your sacred mountains. Pachatusan, Machu Picchu, San Cante, Apu Choco, whatever the mountains are. I have tons of mountains around me. Those are just some of them. And you blow in your intent and your desires to Pachamama, to Mother Earth. And she takes these and she sends them out through the earth. And eventually these become your desires. And we do this all the time. It doesn't have to be fall, spring, just when we feel that reverence and that connection to Mother Nature. And then most of the time, depending on the people here, is you would chew them. You would put them in your, like tobacco, you would chew it. And it's a beautiful custom, and it's a beautiful way. The video said that nature heals. Nature heals when we allow her to heal. Nature heals when we bring her in. Nature heals when we are open to her healing, not our healing. And so I just wanted to share that little custom of ours here in Peru, because it's something that means a lot to me now, and something that I do quite frequently. And at the same time, it doesn't have to be spring. It can be fall. It could be autumn, whenever you feel that connection to Mother Nature.
I love that, Daniel. And thank you for sharing that. And, I think what I'll do is when I go out hiking in these Southern California mountains and find I always love when I find leaves turning here, because I'm originally from other colder places and I'm used to very colorful leaves. So I always am on the lookout for a leaf or two. You could even take a couple of the leaves that have turned and sit there, on a walking path or by the ocean, or even with whatever, stones or shells, and do that. And I heard something, I'm going to share this and we'll keep going around here with our thoughts and about this time of year and what it really means inwardly, is that we are not to be in nature. We are nature. We are made from this Pachamama, from Mother Earth, from the stars that came here. And so everything, we are part of that whole frequency and that beauty too, aren't we? Yeah. So, gosh. Okay. So coming into this time where we have here, in the United States, we have the rituals. I love this whole talk about rituals. We have the rituals of football, right? Everyone has kind of touched on this. We have the rituals of homecoming at schools. We have the rituals of, we have Indigenous Peoples Day, formerly known as Columbus Day. I love that they changed it personally. So we have that 3-day holiday. We have the rituals of getting out into beautiful, where the leaves have turned beautiful colors to remind us of the sun that's penetrated into the earth and it's coming back up into that before the winter comes, right? And then we also have Halloween, we have harvest festivals, we have Thanksgiving, and then we have the end of the year, Christmas, whatever holidays, the solstice, whatever you celebrate, and then the New Year. So this is kind of like the last hurrah of a year, isn't it? So let's chat a little bit. Who wants to go first? Raise your hand about what that means. What that means. Kathleen,
Kathleen, you look like you're ready to go.
Like you're ready to go. What does that mean? Anyhow, what are your dreams? Yeah.
So, well, for me, I mean, I'm going through so many changes right now, all at once. So I think it's just really bringing in, going back to it, just like I love this because it made me had to think about everything, traditions of what's going on. And I just kind of want to, we were talking about slowing down. It's for me, slowing down is very hard. So I'm just going to be more conscious about it and time for me as well, because I'm always trying to give as much to everybody. And so it's, kind of universal, what I believe, a lot of things that have been happening to me, all these ailments happen. It's kind of telling me, Kathleen, you're one person, you can only do one thing, let's take care of you first before you can help anybody else and everybody else out there. So that's kind of what I'm trying to accomplish.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Kathleen. And about self-care and nurturing and our own personal commitments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to ourselves, so that we can come back out and to take that time to rest and to also go, well, what am I creating by the end of this year? And what are my goals going into the new year? So it's a culmination of so many things. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I think, I know somebody watching this needed to hear that also. It's not all about being out there and jumping in pumpkin patches and leaves and hiking, because it also can be coming back inward to go, who am I? Where am I going? And what do I want? It's the harvest of our souls. Courtney, what about you?
Well, I think more play is in my future for the fall, because sometimes I'm a little bit, well, I shouldn't say a little bit. I think the fall for me, I tend to be a little bit more in the feminine, where I go. So I can be very introspective, but I have to get out and play more, especially now that we live here and things are very different. And my main community is still back in Colorado, and we live in an amazing community here. Our town's only 5,000 people. We are surrounded. We're exactly where we're supposed to be. So we do block parties in the alleys. We have sandy alleys. We are truly on island, with the Intracoastal on one side and the Atlantic on the other. So I feel very blessed, but I'm looking forward to getting out and playing more. But I am also going through a lot of changes, And I've had to learn, especially now with the fall coming in, it's almost gently, I don't want to say forcing, but it's almost gently saying, you have control, but you really don't. Like, it's time to release and let go and just follow what's coming in and follow that intuition and let it guide you and let it lead you and trust in it. Trust and release I have it written on my board so I can be reminded of that, because sometimes we think we're headed into a certain direction. And if we are so narrow in scope, we may miss what's really intended for us. So I am leaning into that. And I feel like fall is like the perfect perfect season to just allow and let that beauty to come in, let the magic come in. And it's really unfolding in a beautiful way. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And I will miss the snow in Colorado this year, even though my husband is like, I never need to see it again. I really do miss it. So.
Oh, I love that. I love what I'm hearing from you, Courtney, is play, and also that key note that nature gives us in the autumn to surrender, like the leaves falling and letting go. Whoa, wow, absolutely. Daniel, I'm going to come over to you, sir, to continue on with that thread or whatever is in your heart.
For us here at my retreat center, like I said, I'm in a weird spot where I feel fall, but I'm in spring. So for us, with the holidays coming up, we serve a lot of children here in the indigenous communities above in the mountains. So we give a lot. We give them toys. We buy food. We do giving this time of year, as we look forward also to the retreats that we'll be having in 2025. But I think the biggest part of the fall for me is the giving spirit. For me, it just turns on. Like something says, okay, it's time to give back. Too much is given, much is expected. And it's that time for us to bless others the way we've been blessed this year. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. Even though the flowers are blooming outside, I still feel fall in my body.
Oh, that's beautiful. I also remember having gardens when I had gardens, and it would be the harvest. You'd have extra food and squashes. You take it to your neighbors and share it, and tomatoes, in your skirt, and we can't eat all of it. So thank you. And Gosia, how about you, darling?
I love everything you guys said. It's so beautiful. I am even more inspired now. I really feel like we know that our world, our earth, our reality is changing. And it seems like everyone feels those changes, and everyone feels that we are here not to be divided and not to be arguing and not to be in opposing polarities, but we're here to unite. And I believe we're stepping into the unity consciousness, and everything we do and we be in our daily life should reflect that. So I love what Courtney said about letting go of things. I feel like I want to simplify my life. I really want to go back to the basics: earth, nature, family, friends, love, connections, just the simplicity. After traveling the world and doing all these things in my life, I really seek simplicity. I want to get rid of the things I don't use anymore. And I think now will be such a perfect time, because I had time to think about it and see what doesn't serve me anymore, and what items or things are not contributing to my life anymore. So I'm looking at that to just simplify and feel more inspired and have clear vision for myself and for everyone else on this planet, because I think we're very powerful beings, and whatever we reflect out will radiate into the world and might inspire someone out there. So I think the clearer we are, the purer we are, the more joyful we are, the more we can influence and contribute to this world.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, we're almost to the end of this lovely gathering here, my wonderful friends here, and to our audiences who are listening to this either live or on replay. And what I would like you to each do is go around with one word, one kind of beautiful code word that you want to share with the audience and for yourself, before we say adieu here. Let's start with you, Kathleen. What's your one word for this time of autumn?
One word.
Well, 2 words. Wow.
Change.
Oh, yeah. All right. Love that one. Wow. All right. Daniel.
Renewal.
Yes. Renewal. Spring and autumn. That's right. Love that. Courtney.
Grace.
Grace. That's beautiful. All right. Yes, grace. And Gosia.
Inspiration and love.
Wonderful. I love that. And my word that's coming to me is community for this time of year and for all of our hearts. So we have this wonderful smorgasbord, this harvest festival of love, of life, and celebrating the change of seasons, where we get to really go inward and reflect, let go, to play, to renew ourselves, and to share that hope and our own legacies as we go forward. So this has been an incredible show, and thank you all for my guests here for being here and celebrating your hearts and your memories with all of us as we go forward into this last bit of 2024. And thank you to all of the audiences here. And may your autumn be splendid and create those new legacies of love and community. And with that, we say goodbye.
I want to say thank you for joining us today and welcome you back next Sunday as we once again are joined by a panel of subject matter experts that will explore and focus in on our fabulous lives. Until next Sunday.